I wasn't the biggest fan of season 1 and 2 of Boardwalk Empire. It does sound like right up my street, a series centered on Prohibition era American crime, following gangsters like Al Capone and Lucky Luciano, and made by some of the same team that made The Sopranos, and produced by Martin Scorsese. But I just felt it didn't really do much, bar a few great moments here and there. The production design was magnificent, but characters just meandered around, nothing really happening too much, people staring at walls. You get the sense that the series is laying some feelers out there, is building to some great stuff, but hasn't quite made it there yet. Season 3, I'm happy to report, is one that I enjoyed very much. It's a major step up from the previous one of the reasons being that we no longer have to focus on Jimmy Darmody. He's a nice guy, but when you have guys like Al Capone, Arnold Rothstein and Joe Masseria running around, you don't want to be focusing on a mopey dude with mummy issues. Now we're free from those shackles, and Boardwalk Empire can focus on the more interesting characters. In this season, Nucky's political and criminal alliances are further tested and become more and more strained as a new threat emerges. Margaret and the Irish dude become more and more close, eventually making plans to run away together. Chicago's Johnny Torrio takes a back seat to Al Capone, and Charles Luciano and Maya Lansky start selling heroin behind the backs of Arnold Rothstein and Joe Masseria. The best thing about this season is Gyp Rossetti. Played with ferocious venom by Bobby Cannavale, Rossetti is a gangster backed up by the powerful Joe Masseria, who is deeply unhinged, unpredictable and easily offended. Gyp is literally a spanner in the works of Boardwalk Empire. He's this crazy, insecure person that gets up to all sorts of crazy stuff, interrupting and erupting the normalcy of the usual shenanigans of the Boardwalk characters. Everybody's, just doing their thing in Boardwalk Empire, walking around and talking about business, and Gyp's like, okay, Senorita, you wanted action? I'll give you action. This guy is mental and doesn't play by the rules. There's unwritten laws about not touching cops, for example, and Gyp literally sets one on fire and burns him alive after he simply says bye to him. And everyone knows there's a hierarchy in the gangster world, certain people you don't mess with, but Gyp's out there stabbing and shooting everyone left, right and centre. He's bonkers, and he kind of reminds me of Ralph from The Sopranos, also introduced in season 3 I think, an equally sick but funny mobster who sticks out for being so different. Rossetti is also a bit like the quick-tempered Joe Pesci character Tommy from Goodfellas. Season 3 has genuine plot twists and shocking moments, whereas the ending of the last season, which had been built up over several episodes, felt like it was patting itself on the back for being so clever when in fact it was painfully obvious what was going to happen. There's parts in season 3 where you really don't know what's going to happen next. Some great characters are killed off shockingly, and some awesome new ones are introduced. Nucky's victory in the last season is quick-lived as his world is shaken up big time, with him having to fight off aggression from the political world, the crime world, and his home life. There's more to do for guys like Capone, Luciano and Maya Lansky, who are becoming more and more involved as the series continues. The gangsters really are the most interesting characters, and we haven't seen Boardwalk Empire truly manifest as a gangster TV series just yet. It seems to be wanting to do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, going for a bit of the protagonist's personal life and professional life, the Soprano style. But the non-crime stuff just really isn't that interesting. Much as I try, I can't find myself getting too excited about Margaret starting a women's health club, and I think Boardwalk is starting to recognise this. They throw away a lot of the other storylines towards the last few episodes and focus on the stuff that's entertaining. As such, Season 3 of Boardwalk Empire towers over the previous two.